Uncle Danny's been trying to get it out from under him. He ran real well last night. Chad Kamenov in the 15th, one of the best out of the East.
He really is a multi-time all-star champion. New graphics on that car this weekend as they get the checkered flag to slow him down here.
That's Doug Clark. Doug and his son Justin will be our flaggers here tonight. Lance Dease is arguably one of the true heartbreak stories of this week, and he is standing by with Tony Bachhoven, who has that story.
Well, Lance Dease's qualifying night was the difference of this tire. Lance, the tire blew up on your qualifying night, finds you third in the C main tonight.
Well, yeah, it did. We were pretty good on our qualifying night there in the A main, and we had misfortune of blowing a tire apart. But hey, we're going to put this Hom PBS professional building system car through the C main, hopefully, and get in the B and go for the B.
You've won a feature at Knoxville before. What are you going to do tonight to ensure that you make that transfer?
Well, we're taking a little bit of gamble with tires for the C main, and hopefully that gets us into the B. Then we're going to hopefully have a really fast car like we did on Wednesday night and be able to get up through that B main.
There's a look at Dease's car after he had pretty much dominated the Wednesday night show. That tire blew on the left rear, sent him straight up towards the wall and ended his night and buried him into tonight's C-main event. Now, if you're wondering why the audio at home sounds a little bit different, that's because we're piped loud to the crowd here at Knoxville. They're hearing us as well. Give them a yell, Knoxville. They're watching all over the country, live from Knoxville on Speed. Missed the race? Want to know more? No one gets you closer with more news, analysis, and results than SpeedTV.com. High-octane racing, high-octane news, and information only at SpeedTV.com, your one-stop shop for everything speed. Cars will be lining up behind the pace track as the C-main entries roll out. And here's your starting lineup. Remember, 2 drivers from this 15-lap affair will transfer on tonight. Brooke Tatnell in car number 8 alongside P.J. Chesson, who's not done much sprint car racing this year, Brad.
Yeah, P.J. Chesson ran Indy earlier this year, and I was teasing the other night, can he remember to pull off more than a couple tear-offs during this, running in dirt again, and he looked really good, didn't look very rusty at all the other night.
You take a look at the rest of the drivers in the field. Brock Mays and Dean Jacobs have transferred out of the D. Brock Mays was your winner there. And before we go racing, let's touch base with Tony Bachhoven.
Well, Jonathan, you start in the front row outside of the B main event. They've got the hood off of the car. What's going on?
Well, we developed an engine miss, ignition miss out there, hot laps. The car felt really good until I got a few laps into it and developed a miss. So my guys are hard at work. We have a really good Kistler motor, and I'm sure that my guys will get her fixed.
Will you go out there with the miss anyway and try to make the transfer?
Well, I definitely don't think we can get the engine changed, but we'll do the best we can and see what we can do.
Chico, California's Jonathan Allard scheduled to start from the front row of the B main, Brad, and with 4 spots open in the A, starting from the front row of the B, he'd be in a pretty good shot to get through. Getting ready for our first race live here on Speed. It will be the C main. The crowd pumped up and ready to go racing on a Saturday night at Knoxville. Boy, Brad, you could just see the tension in the eyes of the drivers all week long.
Well, absolutely, and there, Jonathan Allard there, I mean, this deal's tough enough if you're hitting on all 8 cylinders. If you're down at all on horsepower, as you listen to the cars go by here, you can hear that horsepower. Man, I love that stuff.
Oh, don't you? And there's a great look at the cushion here in Knoxville, that real dark bit of dirt high up along the fence. The middle, tight, ready to go. Remember, just 2 drivers making it on. Everybody else heads to the grandstands to watch it like all of the rest of us. In the black number 8, and he leads. Oh, big problems almost developing as they head into turn number 3 with 3 cars going wide.
And is that Lance?
That's Corbin, I believe.
Yes.
The 33, John Corbin.
Rear end problems on that. Broke something on the suspension, Ralph.
And what a year that young man has had, falling out of a truck in Australia, having serious injuries as the truck was just racing after a long rehab, but it looks like his night's not going to go the way he had hoped.
Another car slow going into turn 1, the caution flag out.
That's the 35. I believe that's Dennis Moore Jr.'s car. And there's Doug Clark with the yellow flag out. Now, they do not count the yellow flag laps.
Right, everybody will roll around now. They'll have a single file restart.
Before we go back to racing, while they take care of Dennis Moore's car, let's touch base with Dave Argabright.
Guys, Chad Kimenall starts 6th in the B. You've got to pass some cars to get into a transfer position. What's your strategy?
We just got to get on the gas and get on it quick. You know, you don't have a whole lot of time here. We got to move up into that top 4 spots. And when the checkered flag falls, hopefully we're into the top 4, because that would just be like winning. So if we get into this thing, I think we can come from the back and put on a good show.
Now, you've done that in the past. You came from deep. I think it was last year. Might have been the year before. I'm a little confused. But you passed a bunch of cars. Is that what you have to do tonight? Once you get in, can you do that much?
Yeah, it is. You know, and the racetrack right now is really suitable to pass on. It's only going to get better as the night goes on. And, you know, last year we did. We passed a whole lot of race cars, and hopefully we can repeat that performance again tonight.
Well, we'll be watching for that green 15 back upstairs.
Brad, we talk about how tough it is to do that, but it has been done before. Drivers have come from deep in the alphabet, as they call it here, the alphabet soup, and made it into the A main and won it.
Well, it has gotten tougher throughout the years. The cars have gotten more equal. The competition is very, very tough, but the key there is as Chad talked about, the racetrack. It's opening up, it's wide. These guys like a good groove around the bottom of the racetrack. They like it slick through the middle, and then a good top groove. A minute ago you talked about the cushion, that moisture up around the top of the racetrack. It gives them multiple lines to try to choose as they go through the corners, and it's going to make for better racing, and these guys will just try to outbrave each other as they get into the corners.
Let's go back and take a look at just how intense the racing was on that opening lap, with Corbin right in the middle of it. Watch the 33. He gets together with the 12. That was Linton Jeffrey.
And really lucky, more for Jeffrey. Generally, in a collision like that, it knocks the front axle out of the, which would have been the 12 car there, but we saw there was some damage to the 33. Corbin's car probably broke the Jacobs ladder, which holds the rear end center of that car, but the 12 car looked okay.
And when two open wheel cars make contact like that at these high speeds, most of the time somebody's getting airborne.
Well, luckily for the 33, actually both of them, but mainly the 33 car there of Corbin, his right rear slapped the side of the left front tire of Jeffrey. Had he gone up over that tire at that speed, getting into turn 3, it's usually a pretty violent crash as these open wheel cars on the throttle, a lot of mile per hour out of those tires. When they touch another one up over, it's usually a pretty good ride.
Great shots as the cars idle around this big half mile here at the Marion County Fairgrounds. As the field lines up behind that man, Brooke Tatnall. There's a good look at the wild child, Jack Hodenshield. Let's show you the top 5 as they currently sit. Remember, only 2 are going to transfer on to tonight's B main. Tatnall, Hod, Lance DeWeese. Boy, how close Lance DeWeese was the other night. He wouldn't even be dealing with this right now, and he's still 1 spot out of a transfer. PJ Chesson and Jason Sides.
Yeah, with Lance DeWeese, as you said earlier, had him covered way out front of that A main with just a couple laps to go when that left rear tire blew back into the wall.
We're going to go green this time around. All right, Brad, you've had the thrill of the opening lap. Now is your Lance DeWeese sitting there knowing that you're 1 spot out of at least getting into the B. What are you going to try to do in this opening lap?
Well, I imagine whatever Hodenshield does, he's going to do the opposite, going into 1. The key is staying with each other when they come off of turn 4 on the green. If you can stay right with the guy, just wherever he doesn't go, you just go to the opposite end and try to pass him down in turn 1.
The green flag getting set to wave again here in Knoxville as the fans come to their feet again. Getting set to go racing. Shield goes upstairs while Tatnall hugs the bottom of the black gate.
Oh, Hodgshield went into the middle of the racetrack, about to hit the back of Tatnall. They come out of turn 4.
And Lance DeWeese did not do what you said, Brad. He didn't stay with him while these